Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I welcome you to class. The first thing we're going to be doing is to list out our measurements. So I'm working with underbust length of 13 inches and half length of 19 inches. The bust circumference is 34. Then underbust circumference is 26. The waist circumference is 28. All my circumference measurements I am going to divide by 4. So you can write out your measurements and then divide each by 4. Now this is 7, not 8. So to fold our pattern, I'm going to be folding using the highest circumference measurement, which is 8.5 inches. Which is the bust. So now we are going to be taking the length. First, I'm going to subtract 7 inches. So while placing your tape rule, you minus 7. Under bust is 13. Half length is 19 inches. The armhole length 8.5 inches. So you can reduce to 8 inches since it's not going to have a sleeve. Having done that, we are going to be taking the circumference measurement. First is the bust circumference measurement, which is taken under the armhole length. That's 8.5 inches. Then the underbust circumference will be taken under the underbust length. So that's 6.5. And then the waist, 7 inches. You realize I did not add any measurements to this. So we're not going to be adding since we're going to attach our loops, yes, at the back, and your choice if you want the modest panel. Now here is the cup. You have to get your cup, your bra cup ready, the ready-made cup. All you just need is hold a dart because most of the cups are flattened and we do not want to use a flat cup. So here I took 0.5 inches. 0.5 inches. So you can rule it out from the underbust measurements. Now for corset, from your underbust, you're going to come up by 0.5 inches. You come up by 0.5 inches. So your cup will be placed from there. So we're going to draft it from that center. Please make sure the cup is not flattened. You have to place it well. Do not press it while bringing out the shape. Now there are different ways with which you can place your cup. You can shift it, make it in a slant shape or a straight shape, whichever way. So just place the cup and then you draft out the shape. Once you draft it out, you then measure 0.5 round till you get to the your first line. All right. Now here I am going down again by 8 inches. It was 7 inches that we minused, so I came down by 1 inch. You can make it 1.5. You can make it 2 inches. It's your choice. So from the armhole of 8.5, I just slant so that I can have my basic measurements. So from the center, remember I said I came down again. So you can come down by 1.5 or 1. So just find your way to connect that. Then you cut out the shape of the bra cup that we already drafted. Make sure you measure 0.5 inches inward. And if you place your cup very well, you can just trace it out and cut it out like that. Now, we are going to be creating our boning casings. I just want to draft out the lines so we can understand the arrangement of our boning casings. All right. There is a plastic one. There is one that you can sew. The needle can pass through, and there is another one that you cannot, so you have to insert it. So you need to create space. That's what we call boning casings for that particular one. So this is just an arrangement, first on the center you can just draw out your line. Then you measure like 1 inch from the base and 2.5 at the top. Here is 1 inch again. Then at the other bust, 2.5 inches. So you connect the lines. If you want your boning casings to be straight, you can make it straight. So whatever measurements you've done here, you do that on the other side, and all you just need to do is place that on your fabric. Okay, we'll come back to that. For the back panel now, we are still folding with our 8.5 inches. The measurement is still minus 7 inches at the top. So we have the length is 19, but for the back we're going to subtract 1 inch, so it is 18. The back length is now 18. So you draw out your line, your underbust length, and then your armhole measurement. And then of course you bring out your basic measurement, bust circumference, the underbust circumference, and the waist circumference. So you connect that. Now another thing here is, okay, the back length you can reduce to any length of your choice. We have minus 7, you can make it 8, 9, 10. So this is about 9 inches. So you connect it to your armhole length of 8.5 inches so that you can cut. Another thing here is, because of the loops at the back, we are going to be subtracting so that when we fitting it, it's going to close up. Now the distance with which the rate at which you want the opening depends on you. So you can deduct 2 inches, you can deduct 1, you can deduct 1.5. So I am going with 1 inch because I will not be adding the most modest panel. Modest panel is the other fabric that is used to cover the back of, when you lace your corsets, that there's another fabric at the back that will cover it, that will cover the space up. So that's the modest panel. So you can just connect all the shape and cut out the shape. All right, so this is I'm cutting out 1.5. I don't know if I'll be adding the modest panel yet. So whatever you have cut out on your pattern, you're going to be placing it on the fabric. For the fabric, I use the soft wadding, and then the lining I use the soft stay. All right, for the front and the back, cut out your fabric and your lining. On the fabric, I use the soft stay, and on the fabric I use the soft wadding, while on the lining I use my hair stay. So these are the boning casings. All you just need to do is to sew on it. All right, creating the space for your boning. Now let's go to cutting out the fabric for the cup. First, from the center you have to take the measurement, and see, you take it round. Here is 3.5. I measure 3.5. So I'm folding 4 inches. I added 0.5. So fold into 2 and also fold as if you're cutting out a flare. So I used 4 inches as the length. 4, 4, and 4. So this is one for one of the cups. I need to cut the other one. Having done that, you get the center. Here is the center. All I need to do is take 1.5 inches at the top, and at the base 1.5 inches. I'm going to connect to the center, then from the center to my 1.5 inches. Now sometimes you might need to change the top fabric. I believe you've seen pictures of that. You will cut it out, then you change one of the, you can use a plain fabric, you can use another color of fabric. You just to create a design. But if you don't want to change it, you can leave it, you just hold your dart. So what I'm going to be doing to this is cut out my wording for the fabric. Then I'll also cut out my lining the same way it is. I'll cut out my lining, and then I'll cut out my wording for the fabric and my ST for the lining. If you don't have ST, you can use paper stay. I use the soft wording here, the soft one, not the hard one at all. So to all these pieces, we are going to iron it. Make sure you iron it before we move on to the sewing.